So, little fella, Jerry, what, like, out of today's session, like, I mean, what do you want to, like, you said you wanted to do pocket surf, we didn't do that much out there because there wasn't many waves, but what's something that, like, a little goal you can set for yourself, like what turn do you think on your back end you can change up or make better, so to speak? Like, how can you make your, like, I haven't seen you surf that much, like I said, this first session, but you've get a bit of filming done at all? Right?
Only through surfing Vic with Hale and
yeah. And then what do they like? We like. I'm just trying to get the bottom. Like what? Like so is that you say your back end, your strength? You said. Well, what's your go-to term? Your back end, so back end snap. Yeah. How can we like? Do you think you can make that thing better?
More explosive.
Okay, then what does explosive mean to you? Okay, just big. Okay, then how do you get explosive? Like what's explosive? Like how do you be explosive?
Good bottom turn.
Yeah, good bottom turn. So would you say that like to be explosive too, like you need like a lot of speed as well? So like a big thing that like that I try to work in with like all my athletes is like less is more approach, and it's like the next is your generation, all that thinking about trying to like be okay with falling off and like going to this factor. Does that make sense? So I think the old school, like to me already what I'm seeing is your fundamentals are pretty much there, but being okay with like taking risk and so like blowing your fins out and doing the less is more approach rather than just like nursing, 3 okay turns, taking that more like aggressive approach. So an example would be like even Medina and Italo versus like a Morgan Sibley, how like Morgan has to have that old school kind of more approach where it comes back to wave selection, and I think like the young kids in Australia, like we're going to start like going more down the Brazilian pathway where that risk factor is a little bit higher. So like if there's anything we can maybe take out of today is like think about, I like the word like explosive, is like to be explosive, like you need like a truckload of speed, okay, then you need a lot of speed, you need to be like, like square out, getting that really nice, like I said, tight pocket stuff and hit that nice placement. So like, I don't know if you're going to join the next session, but maybe it's something that, I reckon we'd work towards. It could be something big to tap into. I haven't seen much of your forehand, I can't really comment, but it'd be the same kind of theory, like even on your forehand, like everything happens from like, you see like even Yago Dora as well, like the wave pool, those guys, they go into they're not scared to go for something really risky at the start of the wave, they'll like, and I think if we can get into that headspace, and this goes for all you guys, like that headspace more often, that risk factor on your first turn, who cares if you blow it, like it's going to come naturally, and then if you do that more and more in a comp, then you're just going to blow people out of the water, because not many people are doing that in Australia. Does that make sense? I love this little second turn though, dude. It's sick. It's pretty explosive. It's good. Really good.
So when you're in Victoria, so it's sort of, you're up against the Queensland, New South Wales kids.
Yeah.
So Jez is in the Aussie titles coming up, so he needs to do that to compete against those kids.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, the little kid Dane Henry, he was down at QS, he did pretty well, and it's like we always work in that space of like, going pretty big, and that risk factor pretty modern for ages now, and as you can see now, it's like it's after about 3 years, it's actually starting to pay off. You get bigger scores.
He was surfing good at snapper. Good.
Yeah, he's starting to look big now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's putting a bit of weight, but I think it's